Good morning. It's still a beautiful, quiet morning. I hope I don't jinx it and then they start cutting or mowing the lawn all around, but usually that's on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and whenever they feel like it, I guess. But anyways, we're in the mess. And I know my grandmother probably already disowned me at the fact that I slept without cleaning the kitchen or doing the dishes, because she has tried so hard to drill it in all of us that you don't go to bed without the kitchen being clean in case there's an emergency overnight and then you need assistance and you need to call neighbors or the ambulance. They need to come into a clean home. That's her ideology around it. But anyways, life is lifing, and we are gonna life along with it, and we're gonna clean up all this mess. We are gonna basically, there's a glass in the living room, so I'm gonna move that in here and then wipe down the living room, dust it off and clean it. It was cleaned yesterday, so there's not much cleaning that needs to be done. And then I'm gonna do the dishes, and then once the dishes are done, I can eat while I catch up on a few emails, work emails, because I have to send out a few. And then once that is done, we can get into the DIY that I want to do today, and I am in the perfect mood for this DIY. I just hope nothing bursts my bubble. But let us be positive and let us put it out there. We're gonna have a good day, we're gonna have a great day, it's gonna be an awesome day, and we are gonna receive it, and we're gonna be happy with what we get. All right, let's go to the living room and then pack up a few things and then dust off a few things, and then we can come back in here in the kitchen, do the dishes, do a little bit cleaning of surfaces and everything, sweep the floors, and then we can get into the gist of the day and maybe the DIY that you are here for. And I'm gonna start including timestamps because I do want to show you guys creative home living. It's not always about DIY, it's also about the lifestyle you live in your home as well, that I'm trying to introduce as well. So if I say as well one more time, take a shot. Anyways, let us get into it. I have a plan for you. There goes a peaceful morning. I really don't know. Like, they don't have a schedule of when they're gonna cut the lawn. They just decide, today I feel like mowing the lawn, I'm gonna mow the lawn. And I think for breakfast, we are just gonna have leftovers, and my sister made this bomb stew, so I'm happy about that. That's what we're gonna have this morning. And yeah,
so for this DIY, all you're going to need is canvas. In my case, I'm going to be using 2 canvas. You can always decide what size canvas you want to use. With mine, I don't remember the size, but it's like maybe an 80 by 40 if I'm not mistaken. So that's the canvas size I'm going to use. And then I'm going to be using crack filler to add texture on it. So I'm recycling or upcycling these canvases. I had used them before for a different art, and to cover up that art, I actually ended up creating texture the way I'm doing right now, just applying it on the canvas. Then I let it dry, which is the part that you guys didn't see. It's a simple concept, just applying speckle or applying your crack filler on the canvas just to create texture. And then now I'm going to be creating ridges on my canvas, and this is how I'm basically going to do it. So I just apply a generous amount of crack filler, or you can use like I said, you can use, now the word ran away from me, but anything that could create texture on your canvas that would stick on it. So I'm just basically applying it where I want it, or how I want the ridge to go. And then once I have it where I want it, I'm going to clear the sides to create a ridge. It's more self-explanatory. It's easier like when you see it than when I try to explain it to you. So I clean the right side, and then I clean the left side, and then it creates this nice ridge, basically scraping off the excess on either side. And you can always make adjustments and readjust or reapply this if you feel like it's not the way you want it to look. You can adjust the top of the ridge, you can adjust the sides. What I've noticed is that if you want a more defined ridge, you can scrape the excess even more, and then it will give you a more defined ridge. Or you can leave a little bit of excess on the sides, and then it will be a nice slope to the lower surfaces of your canvas. But like I said, this is more, it's better like when you see it than when I'm trying to explain it to you. And then you can just create different kind of veining. You can call it veining, call it making ridges, however you want. You can create tree branches or however you want to call it. But basically I started applying it where I wanted it, just to create a nice bit of like I'm adding texture to the canvas that already has texture on it. And this is how I'm doing it. I'm just rinsing and repeating this method over and over again. This was very easy, very simple. You could easily use a wall scraper as a tool.
Yep, I left you guys when I was waiting for them to dry, and they are dry, but I realized that I don't have enough crack filler, and the scrap wood that I have is not good enough to create a frame out of for my canvas. So we're gonna go out today early in the morning, so I don't get lazy to go, because I get lazy to go if it's later on in the day. I'm gonna take a shower, we're gonna go to the store, get what we need, and then come back and finish off our mini project that should have just taken us one day. But yet again, we weren't putting too much pressure in it, and we didn't give ourselves a time frame, so it's okay that it's taking as long as it needs to take.
One eternity later.
So basically, they just took the electricity, and we've been dealing with these like load shedding for a while now. So it's gonna be gone for like 4 or 5 hours. I don't even know anymore. I really don't care. Like when they take it, it's like, oh, it's Monday. So I figured there's a couple of stuff that I've had. Oh, if you're new, I'm being rude. if you're new to my channel, we do anything creative home living, that is makeovers, renovations, DIYs, shop with me videos, shopping hauls. If it's home related, you name it, it's on this channel. So moving right along, so I figured I started working on, I have a couple of projects that I started working on, most specifically this one. I'm gonna walk back to the living room. It's gonna be a temporary art piece for this wall while I save up money for the one that I actually truly want. And this art piece can always move to my guest room once I have gathered the finances for what I want to get done. It's 2 canvases and they look like that, and they have these patterns going on them, both of them basically, but you can see it looks blotchy and all. Remember, I got those paint testers from Mr. Price Home. We are going to be painting these, and then we are going to be sticking them up there. Actually, I'll see you guys once I've set myself up. I'm gonna paint on the kitchen counter. I'm just gonna cover my counter with something and then start painting. So let me get my stuff out. Let me get myself situated and enjoy myself basically while I paint and wait for the electricity to come back. So yeah, let's do that. High quality water-based washable Sheen acrylic for interior and exterior surfaces. Enviro-friendly paint. Let's see if we can dry brush this. I think I should wet my brush. Yeah, it's fine. We have it under control. We had it under control. Just gonna go over more the blotchy places, like areas where it doesn't seem white, in case I run out, you know, always plan ahead for should anything happen. So you guys can see the black that's on the edges. That is because I tried to fake a frame for the old painting that I had here, and honestly it just looked DIY'd. So there's nothing wrong with DIYing anything, but you still want it to look store-bought. You still want it to have high quality, because there's nothing that can make your home look basic or make your home look not so luxurious than if something looks like you created it yourself. You know, even if some pieces do look nice when they're handmade, you still want them to carry that, you know, handmade by somebody, you know, that is an artist, or you always want it to look high-end. You want people to ask you, where did you get this item from? Not look at it and be like, she definitely created that herself. If I'm making sense. You still want to, if you're gonna DIY something, it must still look of quality. That's all I'm trying to say. This paint really goes, hey? And this whole painting thing is going a whole lot faster than I thought it was. Sometimes when you procrastinate these things, you basically overestimate the amount of work that goes into something. I clearly did, but this is going a whole lot faster than I thought it would. I don't want to lie. And this paint applies very well. I love the application of the paint. I love the coverage of it, especially because white paint does tend to need more than one coat. I am definitely loving the coverage of this paint. But yet again, this is on something that was already partially white surface. So I don't know if you're painting a gray wall. I don't know if you're trying to paint those renter gray walls, how it's gonna take, or how many coats it's gonna take you. Or better yet, comment down below if you want me to test out, like on a wall, what this paint looks like. I do have one last wall in my home that I need to paint. So you can just comment down below and let me know what you think, and if you want me to test this out and try it out. Okay, for starters, the reason why I ended up not finishing this project is because I got wood cut at Leroy Merlin. Hold on, let me wipe. Wow. I got wood cut at Leroy Merlin. There we go. And I stained it and everything, and I was ready to frame. And then I realized I went there with measurements for one canvas. So I had to go back and get more wood cut to the same size.
So it was easy. I just took 2 of these, the shorter one and the longer one, went to Leroy Merlin, had them cut these to size. So now I have enough for 2 frames. I just still have to stain this, and that's why I ended up not finishing this. Alright guys, an hour later, this is dry to the touch. So I worked it out in a way that the one is the exact length of the canvas and the one like extends over. So the shorter pieces actually cover the whole thing. These ones are actually, focus Regina, focus, there we go. It's actually the exact length of the canvas. So there, and then it meets this one here. How did this happen? Then this one, the shorter one, actually covers the side, like extends longer than the canvas. So you see how the canvas ends there, and then it has this little bit of an extension so that it can cover this one, and then they can meet at a 90 degree angle. Yes, at a 90 degree angle, just like that, seamlessly. That's how I planned this. Or you can ideally cut these at 45 degree angles, and then they can all meet in one place. But to make things easier for myself, since at Leroy Merlin they don't cut in angles, they only make straight cuts, this is how I decided to do it. Just removing anything that could prohibit the frame from, you know, being flush with the surface. Lift the board up. Okay. We have the board lifted. So we said we want this like that. Cool. Do I like it? I do. I like it. Let's get the glue in. So what I like is with normal nails, once you have a lid on it, it's not like stuck. The glue is coming up right away. Okay, so I'm gonna dab the glue on the canvas, not on the wood, because I don't want to get it where it's not gonna be covered. So we're gonna zigzag, zigzag, zigzag on the side. Ooh, don't get it on there. We're not being overly generous because we don't want to increase our dry time, and we want this to tack on immediately when we stick this on. Obviously, this is, it does give you a bit of time to still work with it. If it's not where you want it to be, you can still move it. It doesn't instantly glue up, and then you can just leave it there. But I like the fact that it holds itself in place. That is the upside of this. I'm going to give it a nice dab right at the edges so that it adheres very well. Then I'm going to quickly close this up, and then at the bottom I'm going to loosen it a little bit so that it doesn't push the glue out. That way we're saving on glue. Okay, I'm going to take this frame, pick the side that I don't like the most. I don't like this side because it has that little bit of dab of extra stain right here, if you guys can see. So this is the imperfect side. I'm going to make the imperfect side face the canvas because it's not what you're going to see. Then just gonna stick it on there, push it on, hold it in place for a little bit, ensure that it's where I need it to be. Then I'm just gonna push the middle as well so it sticks. Okay, it's starting to move around. This is what I'm talking about. It can still move if you don't have it placed properly. So okay, and then it's stuck on there. It's still drying,
I can still move it a little, wiggle it a little, but then that's fine.